Yo, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of That Life My Life. It is your official host, That Guy B.RoB, and we're here back in action on this lovely Wednesday with this lovely young lady who's on the other side of me. Will be talking to us about her lip gloss line that her and her good friend started. And what better way to start off Women's History Month than with a woman entrepreneur? So I think that is amazingly great. So how you doing, Naira?
I'm wonderful. Been a busy week, but everything's been great. How are you?
I'm tired as hell and working in corporate America. Good old corporate America. What you been up to? How you stay busy? You got a lot on your plate. You do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, 2 LLCs and a podcast, and now working on a magazine. So it's been a year.
Hey, somebody got to do it because if you don't, who will? So I want to go ahead and get this interview started because I don't want to waste too much of your time tonight. What inspired you and your friend, I guess I should ask, to start your own lip gloss line?
Well, initially it was my idea. It was something that I came up with years and years ago, but it was just the name. It didn't have a concept behind it, and I was like, I'm going to do something with this name. I don't know what, but I'm going to do something with it. And if anybody knows me from college, they used to say, Naira, I've never seen your actual lips before because you always wear lipstick. They thought my lips were black. And I'm like, no. And but I always loved lipstick. And I said, one day when I get financially able, I'm going to launch my own lip line. And I remember dropping the idea in a group text with one of my friends, and Monet, she was actually the person who reached out to me. She said, I always wanted to do this. And I'm all for partnership. I'm all for, that empowerment of each other and supporting one another. So if that's your vision too, then maybe God is helping us to come together. And so we just made it happen. So
Dreamsellers is not just a lip gloss line, it's just a lipstick, everything lips.
So it's Dreamsellers collection. So it's going to be a collection of different cosmetics and also apparel merchandise.
I love it. So what made you come up with this name, Dreamsellers? You be out here selling dreams? I'm starting to believe it. I hear your podcast, okay. So I think you sell dreams.
Okay, so initially Dreamsellers, it was a phrase that a lot of guys called me and my friends. They were like, man, y'all out here just selling dreams. And they used to always play with us all the time. It was kind of like our word for thirst trapping, sort of say. But, I wanted to take the term and kind of put a twist to it. I love taking things that have a negative connotation to it and putting something positive to it to change the meaning of something. And so basically we turned the word Dreamsellers into, basically it stemmed from the heart to basically empower women and the dream that she aspires to make reality. And so Dreamsellers comes from, we want older women to be able to sell dreams to younger women to say, hey, this is what I did. I'm convincing you to buy into this dream. And a lot of times in our mind, we think buy into a dream is like, okay, you're lying to me, or no, but we want our young women to buy into the dream of becoming a doctor. We want you to buy into the dream of becoming financially stable. We want you to buy into the dream of becoming, the next president of the United States. We want you to buy into that dream. And so it's our duty as older women or as millennials to teach the younger women and even people older than us that, let me help you buy into this dream. It happened for me. So I'm gonna sell you this dream. So we turn that negative connotation into something positive.
I love it. So it's a motivation. It's inspiring. It's not what most people think, because
Nah.
We out here trying to inspire young women, which is very important because, it's not too many positive things towards women. I mean, nowadays with the whole Me Too movement and thing that's going on, it's like women empowerment, I'm loving it. It's growing. And I think y'all got a good platform.
Yeah, most definitely. I think the most important thing about women in business in general is that the fact that we're now taking what used to be an expense and now capitalizing off of it. It used to be a point where we spent $200, $300 on hair. Now we're making money off of it. It used to be a time we were spending money on makeup, and now we're making our own business out of it. It used to be a time where, even with our bodies, it was just like, now you can't get this for free. You got to pay me on Instagram to get a promo to get onto my page. And it's like, even with fashion, we took our shopping habits into capitalizing it. And so I think that's what's dope about us in this generation is that, you know, we'll spend that money, but we gonna make it back.
Yeah, and women, y'all spend a lot of money on hair, makeup.
Don't do it. Don't you do it.
I'm about to do it.
Don't.
Y'all spend so much money. Why?
Nope. You can try next month, not during women's. Nope.
I'm gonna let y'all live. I will let y'all live. So have you ever thought about always thought about owning your own business? Like, has this always been a goal of yours? Like, you have several businesses that you own. Like, has it always been a dream?
It has. It was kind of like a distant dream. I knew I had the leadership ever since I was in college. I had that leadership and I knew that I was going to own my own business. I thought it was going to be in my 30s or in my 40s or something like that. But you never know how God calls you to do certain things. And so it kind of just happened. I took that leap of faith at 23 and I quit my job. And, you know, I just started doing my own thing and I've been successful ever since because I've been happy.
So how was that when you took that leap of faith? Like, how scary was that? Like, when you quit your job and was like, I'm going to put all my faith into Dreamsellers?
Let me tell you, like I tell anybody who asks me the same question, don't do it because you see other people doing it. Make sure that you are in a good space, and that's mentally, that's physically, financially. Make sure you are in a good space somewhere. Sometimes you may not be good financially, but you may be good mentally and can be able to handle it. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, it was a very nervous thing, but I felt unhappy with no matter what job I was in that was even in relation to my major, which was marketing. I felt miserable. I didn't feel happy. And, you know, I talked to my mom, and my mom, she is the type of person, she's not a risk taker. She doesn't travel outside of Alabama. And it was just one day she told me, baby, quit your job. Like, what you're doing now is taking up all of your time and you're tired. And so she said, take it. And when my mom said that, I said, okay. Yes. And so I felt like God told me, call another person. And I called one of my friends who's an entrepreneur. Her name's Jasmine. And, you know, she was like, Naira, do it. I've been telling you to do it. But even after that, I felt like God was telling me to call one more person. And I called my friend Rita, and she told me, she said, Naira, you're afraid because you're afraid of, you have a trauma attached to money. You're afraid of losing that money and being homeless and not being able to do the things you used to do. Mm-hmm. And she said, let go of that trauma for money and always have the mindset that it's money up for grabs. There's so much money in this world is up for grab. As long as you have that discipline and that motivation to do it, mm-hmm. just do it. And ever since then, that next day, I didn't show up to my job. And I kid you not, that same day, my job called me and they said, hey, Naira, you got your first sale. And it was a lot of money. And I felt like God was telling me, either you take that amount of money or I can triple it if you follow what I'm trying to do in your life. And Preach. So I followed him. And when I tell you it's been the best thing, it's stressful. Don't get me wrong. Don't ever let nobody tell you, oh my God, it's just lilies and sunflowers. No. But it's a different stress because it's your stress. It's your responsibility. It's not somebody else's. And it's the best feeling in the world. Best feeling. I
believe it. And that's so crazy because, you know, one thing with me, like, I work in corporate America right now. Like, I work at a mm-hmm. hospital as a medical receptionist, and I hate it. Like, to this day, like, I'm about ready to quit. Like, I'm there, and I just know that, like, in my head, God's telling me, like, you'll be one in my city. It's a small town. It's not a really big job market here. If I leave a job, I'm only going to downgrade because I'll be working at, like, a fast food place. And I'm just taking that. God is telling me, because so much bad has been happening at the job. And it's like, it's time for you to go. Like, it might be time for you just to take that leap. Like,
yeah.
Because it's a struggle, and it's so unhappy. I'm so miserable. Like, it's the worst ever.
And that's not how it should be. Like, when you wake up, it shouldn't be like, oh my God, thank God it's Friday. It should be like, yeah, like it's any other day.
Yes.
When it's Monday. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, if you ever have that feeling, go with your gut feeling, pray on it. And I promise you, like, once you do it, you're going to be like, oh my damn, did I do this?
Yes.
And then it'll settle in like, whoa, I have so much free time. I don't know what to do. And your creative juices is going to it's going to throw up out of your head. You never know what to do.
I get it. I totally. So the growth of female bosses, female leaders has been through the roofs over the past couple years. How does that make you feel to see all these women that are empowerment and own their own bosses, own their own media, and doing exactly what the men are doing, like taking charge? Like, how does that make you feel being a female boss yourself?
I love it. I think I love it more when it comes to partnership. I think that is one of the reasons why my business started thriving so quickly based off partnership. And I think a lot of people, us women, we have in our minds we want to do it by ourselves and do it on our own. But when we realize the power of partnership and start partnering with each other, like one of my friends, she's in PR. PR, you're going to need marketing and branding. Up, team together. PR, help me with my, a cosmetic line. Like, it's so many things we can do together. And I think we've always been bosses, but I'm loving more now that we're starting to move into partnership, because a lot of times it was like, oh, this is you're not better than me, da 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 da. And we move from, that competitiveness to basically companionship. Like, come on, let's do this together. Like, we finna make this money together, and I love it.
That's how it's supposed to be, sticking together, especially for minority
Keep
groups.
it in-house.
Yes, keep it in-house. Yes, keep it in-house, because everybody else doing it, so we can do it too.
Right.
That is crazy. So what's been the toughest thing for you with Dreamsellers? Like, since you started this business, what do you think has been your biggest bump in the road?
I would say the biggest thing with doing a cosmetic line is meeting supply and demand. We recently did, and also dealing with a private vendor. Sometimes you can have the most complications there is in life. And we have been through and still going through those hiccups, with our product and so forth, and then mixing it in the lab and customizing all these different things to labeling. It can be a very, very stressful process when you have a lot of people saying, oh, I want this, and you're not having that manpower powering it like it needs to be going. And so the first starting out, it can be stressful just trying to get everything underway, and nothing is going to be perfect. Sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and, let your customers know, hey, this is what's going on. I'm sorry, but we want you to have it as much as, we want to have it. But things happen. And, as long as we have understanding, it's kind of a little bit easier. The second thing is knowing what sells, knowing what the trend is. Because certain colors aren't going to really pop in the summertime. Some things pop more in the wintertime. And so it's just kind of determining, okay, what's trending? And it takes a lot of research, and knowing these things. And also the last thing is basically ensuring that your product is differentiated from any other product. There are a lot of lipsticks. There are a lot of cosmetic lines, that we can all still support. I don't know no girl that gonna get enough of some lipstick. But honestly, it's just making sure that what can you do to make sure you create an experience with your brand that is different than all the hundreds and thousands of other brands that is out there. And so those have been the toughest things, trying to ensure that we're trying to get together so that when we get it together, it's over for y'all.
And and that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. You do run into some bumps in the road. So it's like, we're working with so many people for your brand, your collection. Do you find it difficult because, like, you have a certain vision that it should be in, like, other people may not see the role that you want Dreamsellers to be? Have you ever ran into that?
Yes and no. Even in partnership, when you have two different visions, sometimes you have to, I'm not going to say compromise, because I really do hate the word compromise. I'm not going to let you, I cannot lie. But sometimes when you have a vision, I am a firm believer of evidence, lay it out on the table. And if it makes sense, then let's go with it. But that's just me. I'm not going to say I'm a very argumentative person, but I like debate. Tell me I'm wrong, but show me, why am I wrong? Why is your idea going to be better than this method that we're going here? And if you can hit me with that, let's go.
Yo, let's do it.
Let's do it.
That's how it's supposed to be, and I guess I could say argument and debating is good, because that allows, between y'all going back and forth, you're gonna see the flaws and the holes, and y'all gonna end up.
Oh my gosh. I said to say, nobody believes me when I say that.
We on the same page. Trust me, I'm argumentative. I like to argue. Not just to argue, but it's I want to know why. Like you said, let's figure out. Like, I'm not saying I'm right, but in my head I'm right. So show me why I'm wrong and why you're right, so we can figure out what's the real reason and what's the real.
You know what's so powerful about that is that every time I say that, and this is a little bit, almost tad bit off subject, but it's still in alignment, is that a lot of people don't know how to deal with conflict.
People rush.
A lot of people keep saying, oh, I'll cut them off quickly, I'll do this. Yeah, you don't know how to deal with conflict. Therefore, you're not going to know how to own your own business. You're not going to know how to work in a business because you cannot deal with conflict. You can't cut people off every time they do something mean to you, or unknowingly, or that imaginary beef sometimes. Like, arguing is good. Argue it out. Don't fight now.
Yeah, don't fight, but let's argue. Let's fight, you know.
But argue, debate it, and learn each other. That's how you learn, you know, each other's pressure points. What makes each other mad. You learn so many things through arguing. And when you agree on everything, throw the whole partnership in the trash.
Throw it away, because what agreeing is going to do?
Throw it in the trash.
That's crazy. So you have your false advertising, no false advertisement.
False advertising.
False advertisement, and you have notable designs going on.
Yeah.
Tell us about those projects. Tell us about them.
Okay, so with Notable, and just shout out to Taji Magazine. They actually wrote an article on me, which released today, volume 14. And so it'll be coming out today. And so basically with Notable, it's a business that I've always just wanted to do. I always want to do my own marketing and branding and graphic design for different small to medium-sized businesses, specifically for millennials. And I always had this vision that people always told me, Naira, you're so underpaid. Your work looks so good. Why do you charge this much? And I said, honestly, I've known so many people who have had a vision and who have wanted to start their own business and do these things in the community and really start something major, but they did not have the money. They did not have the budget. And sometimes those things are important. But at the end of the day, somebody has to plant the seed. And I wanted to be that business that planted the seed in young millennials who said, Naira, hey, I need a website, business cards, a logo. Can you bundle this for me? Can you create a custom package for my business? And, you know, can I be able to do these certain things as far as payment or financial wise to be able to get these things like these big major corporations have? And I wanted to be that person who supplied that. And that's how my business grew rapidly, not because I was like super cheap, but because I had a good price with good work. And a lot of people couldn't understand, why do you charge so cheap for something so great? And I said, honestly, because you have great people out there who don't have that money that people are looking for graphic design. Graphic design can be $500 to sometimes $700. It can be expensive.
It's expensive.
And as a young Black female or Black man, why should you not be allotted that dream? Somebody gave me the dream and I didn't have to spend that much. So why can't I be a blessing to another business and help them plant that seed? And we can go from there. Hey, as you grow, my prices will grow with you. And then we can, you know.
It'll come. It'll come.
I negotiate, you know. But, you know, other than that, you know, Notable, we basically specialize in marketing and branding, helping you basically be known and get noticed, whether that's locally, regionally, nationally, however you want it to be. Like, you know, we're going to help you draw that vision out. And something that's been so great about Notable is that a lot of people don't know how to communicate their vision. And my business has been really well with helping you get that vision out. Like, let's talk it through and really determine what is it that you really want to do. And also graphic design. If you need some logos, flyers, you know, website,
resumes, cover letters,
look, a little bit of everything. We do it all.
And false advertising.
False advertising.
Y'all be cutting up.
Shout out to Monet, Mook Hefner, and also Doc Reed. We created something called. I'm sorry.
Mook is hilarious.
Yeah. We created something called false advertisement. False advertising has a lot in store. It's kind of taken off, kind of like caught by